Today we're going to be looking at misplaced modifiers. A modifier is a word or phrase that modifies or describes something. For example, if we take the sentence, "I saw my friend today," we can describe friend by adding old. I saw my old friend. I saw my old friend who was sitting on the park bench. Who was sitting on the park bench describes the friend. Walking through the park, I saw my old friend who was sitting on the park bench. Walking through the park describes the word I. If you've misplaced your watch, that means it's in the wrong spot. If you misplaced your cell phone, it's in the wrong spot. The same thing is true with a modifier. If you misplaced it, it's in the wrong spot in the sentence, and it changes its meaning. So let's take a look at the difference between these two sentences. Reading the morning newspaper, I watched my cat. I watched my cat reading the morning newspaper. Reading the morning newspaper is the modifier. The question is it modifying the word I or cat? Who is reading the morning newspaper? If the sentence says, reading the morning newspaper, I watched my cat, there's a person who is reading the newspaper and watching the cat. I watched my cat reading the newspaper means the cat is actually reading the newspaper. So how do you fix these? First, determine what the modifier is. In the sentence, the kind mother handed out bologna sandwiches to all the kids in Ziploc bags. The modifier is in Ziploc bags. The question is, what is in Ziploc bags? Are the kids in Ziploc bags or the bologna sandwiches? The way the sentence is currently written, it looks like the children are in Ziploc bags. The next step is to move the modifier. If the bologna sandwiches are in the Ziploc bags, we need to move the modifier in Ziploc bags directly next to bologna sandwiches. So now the kind mother handed out bologna sandwiches in Ziploc bags to all the kids. They've been rescued. So what's the difference between these two sentences? Spitting out hot lava, my friend took photos as the volcano erupted, and my friend took photos as the volcano erupted, spitting out hot lava. The modifier is spitting out hot lava. The question is, who or what is spitting out this hot lava? The way the sentence currently reads, spitting out hot lava, my friend took photos as the volcano erupted, makes it sound like the friend is spitting out the hot lava and not the volcano. What's the difference between these two sentences? One morning, I shot an elephant in my pajamas. In my pajamas, I shot an elephant one morning. The modifier is in my pajamas. The question is, who is wearing the pajamas? In the first sentence, the elephant is wearing the pajamas. In the second one, a human is wearing the pajamas. So what's wrong with this sentence? Father bought an ice cream for the girl with cherries on top. Father bought ice cream for the girl with cherries on top implies that the cherries are on top of the girl. However, if we change the sentence to Father bought ice cream with cherries on top for the girl now has ice cream with cherries on top. What's the difference between these two sentences? The cops in the squad car chased the bear, or the cops chased the bear in the squad car. The modifier is in the squad car. The question is, who is in the squad car? Let's look at these two sentences. Taped to the wall, the note was read by Margaret. Taped to the wall, Margaret read the note. Let's take a look at what those sentences would both look like. In the first sentence, taped to the wall, the note was read by Margaret. The note is being modified by taped to the wall. And because taped to the wall is next to it, Margaret isn't taped to the wall. In the second, Margaret is right next to the modifier, which makes it sound like Margaret herself is taped to the wall. Take a look at this picture. This picture fits the sentence. At the park, I noticed my neighbor walking her dog in heels. In heels seems to be in the wrong place. If we rewrote the sentence so that the word neighbor is next to in heels, it makes more sense. At the park, I noticed my neighbor in heels was walking her dog. In this picture, it says, I saw a dead skunk driving on the highway. Driving down the highway is the modifier. The question is, who is driving? I or the skunk? When we put the modifier right next to the word being modified, it makes more sense in this sentence. Driving down the highway, I saw a dead skunk. In this picture, the little girl saw a goat on the farm heading into town. Heading into town is the modifier. The question is, who is heading into town? When we put the modifier right next to the word being modified, the little girl, it makes more sense. Heading into town, the little girl saw a goat on the farm. Let's take a look at one more before you have a chance to practice. In this picture, they saw all kinds of dinosaurs on the class trip to the museum. However, who is on the class trip to the museum? In the picture, it's the dinosaur. In the sentence, on the class trip to the museum, they saw all kinds of dinosaurs, implies students or people were on the class trip to the museum. To fix a modifier, you need to move it right next to the word being modified. So remember, good luck. First determine what is the modifier, and second, what is being modified. Then move that modifier right next to the word being modified. Misplaced modifiers can make you an accidental comedian. Let's practice a little more with the Google quiz.